Hey, teacher friends. Welcome back to the Teacher Support Network podcast. I'm Anton McCoy, your host, and today we're continuing with the Whole Life Teacher series, and we're digging into a topic that we don't always talk about nearly enough in education, and that's finances. And money matters, not just for paying bills, but for your peace of mind too. And let's be real, between the salary you make depending on your state and school district, student loans, and side hustles, teacher finances can feel like a constant juggling act. But we're not here to shame. We're here to take small, honest steps towards financial wellness. And we want to do that with some grace and not guilt at all. So let's talk first about money. I know talking about finances can be personal, even emotional. There's no one-size-fits-all approach, and I want to honor that. And we all come from different places financially, and the pressures we carry around money are real. And teaching is a calling, but it's also a career. And the financial realities many educators face are really real. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you have multiple streams of income that you are able to balance. Or maybe you're just wondering how to save anything when prices keep rising. I've been there, and I'm still in that journey for financial peace. And I've had to learn how to budget smarter, say no to some things so I can say yes to what matters, and build a mindset that really helps me to manage money and not fear it. And this isn't about being perfect with finances. It's about creating a plan, one small step at a time, so you feel less stressed and more free. So let's talk a little about budgeting, and particularly budgeting with purpose. I want you to think of budgeting not as restriction, but as permission to prioritize what truly matters. Whether it's groceries, giving, family fun, or saving for a goal, having a plan really helps you stay focused and free. Over the years, here are a few things that have helped me manage my money, and I'm still, like I said, a work in progress in terms of what I do with my money. But one thing is having a small amount automatically deposited into my savings account each month from my paycheck, so I know I'm saving consistently month to month. Something else that's really helped is keeping an emergency or rainy day fund for things like unexpected car repairs. It always seems to go with the car, if you know what I mean. Maybe that's new tires, I need brakes, or just something it's not working, I need to take it into the shop. You know the deal. Something else I've done too that has helped me is put money in the budget for entertainment with my family, like eating out, fun outings, and just making memories because that's something that we value. And I also set aside my own personal blow-it money. I call it like blow-it money. So I can just grab a favorite coffee or lunch or just a treat or treat myself without just feeling any guilt about it. So I budget those things in, not a lot, but enough so that I don't feel guilty having some joy in my life month to month. And one thing I also do, and I've done this for a while, is just I love to give to my church and support causes that matter to me throughout the year. And just me giving sometimes just really helps me understand gratitude and feel grateful for the things I have, and also helps me to pour into other people. Now listen. This isn't the only way to manage money. There are tons of ways to manage money, and I'm sure you have your own ways of managing money. But there's just a few things that works for me. And I'm a little old school with how I handle things, so keep that in mind. The key is really finding a rhythm that matches your life, and more importantly, your values. I try to stay within the budget as best I can, but I try to stay flexible as well. I reevaluate things a few times a year based on what we need as a family. And budgeting for me, like I said, is a work in progress. And it's not a perfect system. It's just something that adjusts with the season I'm in. And I think it's something that's important that you adjust it with the season you're in as well. So let's talk a little bit now about financial peace over pressure. So many teachers carry financial anxiety, but never really talk about it. And we don't have to carry that silently. Start building peace by maybe trying a few of these things. Maybe automatically saving even up to $10 a month, because over time that adds up. Something else you can do is find areas in your life that you can eliminate or adjust altogether. Perhaps you have a monthly subscription plan that you're paying for that you're not really using or you don't really need right now. Another thing is saying no to unnecessary classroom spending from your own pockets. I know as teachers and educators, a lot of times we take money from our own pockets and put it into our classroom. But consider looking for local teacher grants, maybe asking donations from parents or booster clubs on supplies that constantly you need restocking for in your classroom, or just maybe even create an Amazon wish list or something similar for other important, more pricier items. That way you don't have to always go into your own budget to supplement what you need in the class, and you can just solicit it from other people who really want to help and may really want to help you with this students as well. So creating margin in your budget whenever possible for what brings you joy. That's the last one. And when I say margin, it's just, like I said, a little bit budgeting things in your budgeting money so that you can have something small. Maybe it's a nice coffee, or saving up a little bit of it at a time for that summer mini vacation or a trip that you want to go on with your family. What matters most is just alignment. Spending your money in ways that reflect your values and not just your obligations. So you're not alone in figuring this out. The first step might be talking to a spouse, or maybe you have somebody like a friend or something, like an accountability partner, or maybe even a financial advisor of some sort. But just really talking about finances with other people who you have to do that can help you, or you have to partner with. And then something else you can try to do is really just simply write down where your money is going each month, and start with this current one. You'd be surprised sometimes when you write down your expenditures and what you have and where your money is going. That's where you'll be able to really see where you can maybe adjust, remove, or even have to add something. But knowing what it looks like on paper is really important. Small shifts create big change over time. And you're not trying to be a financial planner. You're just trying to live within your means and with a little more peace. So here is some reflection questions that I want you to think about this week. First one is, what's one spending area that tends to drain your budget more than it should? And I think you might find that as you write down what you're spending your money on each month. And the other reflection question is, what's one small financial decision you can make this week that moves you closer to peace? And I always like to leave sometimes with an action step. And so the action step for this week is pick one money area. Maybe it could be subscriptions, it could be eating out, it could be looking at your classroom spending, etc. Whatever that might be, you get to choose, and decide what you can maybe pause, maybe reduce, or just replace this week, and then take action on it. Like I said, baby steps. Inch by inch is a cinch. Yard by yard makes it hard. Just think about the next action step, small thing you can do to get more peace and financial peace in your life. But be encouraged. Your worth is not tied to your bank account, but your peace is connected to your plan. So remember, this is a journey. You're not behind, and you're not alone. I think all educators and teachers, even though we don't always talk about it, their finances and managing money is an area that we continually need to evaluate and to improve. And so that's what this episode is really about. So before we go, I want you to check out my show notes for helpful resources, the full episode transcript, and links to connect with me on my social media. That's it for now for this week of the podcast. I hope you have an amazing week. Until next time, bye for now.